So I think I got 3 customers showing up today to pick up stuff. I got a pressure washer. I've got a let's see, a push mower, and then I got this thing. He says won't start. Probably got bad gas, so I dumped the gas out. Excuse me. Flushed it. So I put more gas in it and dumped it out again. It was bad. I figured, oh yeah, we're gonna have to deal with the carburetor on this, and started right up. I mean, third pull started. It was fantastic. Then he says, well, sharpen the blade of the chain. Brand new blade, bar, and chain. I scraped it across the porch by accident here, and it didn't just scratch it. It ripped material up off. So I don't know what he was talking about. So yeah, I don't know how to handle customers like this. I don't charge a diagnostic fee, and it has served me well. I know people seem to think I'm supposed to, but that doesn't make sense. You charge a diagnostic fee. Let's say they bring you a mower that's well above the worth of the mower. The mower's worth $10, and you got $100 worth of parts and labor into it. They're not going to want to pay it. So then you say, well, you're going to owe me $25. So the mower's still worth $10, and you give them a 15 diagnostic, whatever. And so you give them, you say diagnostic fee $25. They're not going to pay it. Why would they pay it? Keep the mower. Well, you still owe me $15. So when you get something that it runs perfectly fine, I mean, you just give it back to them. I guess it's some of what, but there's a downside to each side of the story, I guess. But that's the way I look at it. Now, Carolyn and I did talk about it. We may start charging something, because I mean, the gas and the oil that I had to put in it, the bar oil, it's not a lot, but it's still something. Then I got the pressure washer. I got a pump for it. I told you about the pressure washer. The pump was really expensive, and then they went on sale. I told you about this yesterday. And they went on sale, and they dropped $100 off of them. So I asked her if she wanted me to fix it, and they said yeah. So we got that one. And then there's a push mower. Things are starting to slow down, of course. I still hear mowers. I can hear a mower right now in the distance. That pressure washer originally came in because I had a bad carburetor. I mean, it was bad gas. It was the bowl was crusty and dirty. So when I took the carburetor off, somebody had worked on it before, and it was not put on correctly. One of the gaskets that they used was a sticky gasket. I don't know what, never saw one on a Honda. Now, Honda is really difficult to put together. I've showed this before. It is just ridiculous how they do it. Most carburetors have a stud sticking out of the engine, 2 studs. And you just slide the carburetor, the gasket, the carburetor, and whatever other components they want you to put on, you just slide them on. But with this one, you have 2 bolts, long bolts. And so you have to slide everything onto the bolt and then try to line it up. All the while trying to get the linkages hooked up, the gas line hooked up, getting it all hooked up. It's terrible. Honda carburetors are terrible. Plus they have all kinds of components that goes on to it. I don't know, maybe a total of 10 components you had to put on, slide onto these. Maybe not that many, but 6 to 10, something like that. Depends on what you're working on. And they all got to be on perfect. You get one upside down, the gasket's upside down, or there's a plastic intake manifold. You put that on, and then there's a shield. Put that on backwards. Any of it's put on wrong, then it sucks air in, and it surges. Well, you don't want sucking air in anyways behind the air filter, because you're just going to put dirt into it, even if you were willing to live with the surging. So this guy, he put it together completely wrong. So I had no idea how it was actually supposed to go on. So I went to the schematic. That's where you're supposed to go. So I went to Honda's page and looked at the schematic. And okay, I'll put it together like that. And I put it exactly the way they had it. I had my phone, because I forwarded the page over to my phone. And one piece at a time, I'm holding it. I mean, it's a nightmare. And don't drop something, because then you got to put it, take it all apart so you can pick that piece up. So I'm watching and I'm doing everything perfectly. put it together, and it sucked air. And now the way you know how it sucks air is you take some carb cleaner and you spray around the intake manifold on the inside of the carburetor. And if you hear a sound change, then you know it's sucking air because it sucked in that carb cleaner. Well, it sucked air. I mean, the carb cleaner. So the schematic was wrong. So not only did the guy put it on wrong, the schematic was wrong. So I spent, I don't know, maybe 2 hours taking it off, rearranging the parts, putting it back on, looking at different schematics, hoping that something would show me something, but that none of them were the same as this one. And it was a pretty old model, so it might have something to do with the schematic being wrong. I mean, it may be nowadays that the schematic is correct and it's just this old model. So I just kept working at it, putting it back together. I knew I was going to stumble on it to one way or another, and I finally got it. Well, the thing is I was leaving the air filter housing off of it as I was doing this, because that was another piece I would have to hold. So as I'm going through, I just check it each time. Well, when I finally got it, then I had to take it apart to put the air filter housing back on, and sure enough, I dropped the piece. So I had to do it 3 or 4 more times to get this put together correctly. It was terrible. But I did it, and now it runs great. Well, then the pump came in because they had a bad pump. So the pump came in, and I put the pump on today, and she's going to pick that up, which was coincidental because right after I got that thing running right yesterday, the carburetor, the guy, there was a guy on Facebook. I'm a member of this group, and it's a dumb group. I use the group to test myself. You know, somebody will give you some vague explanation or a picture, and then I quiz myself. Well, what do you think the problem is? And well, it could be this, this, or this. And I just do it to quiz myself. So this guy posts, and he says, I got a customer took the carburetor off, and he brought it over to me, and I'm at a loss. I have no idea how to put it back together. What do you think? I can't find any videos online. Well, there's like 1 million videos online on how to put it back together. It is literally the same as every other Briggs & Stratton carburetor. There's nothing different about it. Exactly the same. If you've done 10 of them, you know how to do it. And I got frustrated, and I didn't mean to troll him. I wasn't trying to troll him. I was trying to explain to him that you need to learn how to work on lawnmowers before you take on customers. Where do I want to go from this point? Let's see. My feeling is, I just watched a video yesterday, and experienced guy, he says, I get tons of calls from my subscribers and all over the country of people saying, how do I fix this? And he says, well, take it to your local lawnmower. I don't trust them. They don't do anything right. And that's why I said something to this guy. And so I said, this is what causes mechanics to have a bad name or something. I don't remember exactly what I said, but you really should need to learn how to, oh, I know what I said. Here's what happened. Everybody in the comments was criticizing the customer. Neanderthal, that's what it was. That's the one that triggered me the most. I was like, why are you calling this person a Neanderthal? He tried something, it didn't work, so he took it to a guy who's qualified to work on lawnmowers, and instead of criticizing the guy, the mechanic, who's supposed to be qualified to work on lawnmowers, that doesn't know how to put a lawnmower together, we're going to criticize the customer who is paying the guy to fix his lawnmower. Let me understand this. You're mad that a guy tore his lawnmower up and wants to give you money to fix it. I'll take that kind of job all day long. You mean you took a wrench and you messed it up, and now you want me to fix it for a price? Sure, buddy. I'd be happy to, but instead let's criticize the customer. It's the customer that is the Neanderthal. And I said, well, wait a minute. I'm a little confused here, or something to that effect. I thought when I started reading the comments, everybody'd be thinking that, hey, you know what? You got a customer. But instead, and the mechanic doesn't have any idea what he was doing. What is this? And instead, it's the exact opposite. We're criticizing the customer and praising the mechanic. I said, I'm backwards. I'm confused. And so the guy who posted that he didn't know how to do it says, clearly you don't understand. So your negative comments are not welcomed. And so I replied, what do you mean clearly I don't understand? I clearly understand. I work on mowers every day is what I said. I work on mowers every day. And about 50% of them is somebody else has worked on them and didn't put them together right. I suggest that if you're going to work on lawnmowers, that you buy or take free lawnmowers, work on them, get them running until you have the experience to take on customers. That makes sense to me. Why are you taking on customers? You don't know how to work on them. If you're getting on Facebook, I mean, think about this. Imagine somebody's working on my car, and I'm a part of a Facebook group for mechanics, and somebody posts my car in the Facebook group, says, I got this customer who brought me a car and I don't know how to fix it. I mean, I'd be like, okay, I'm going to get my car. What's going on here? Well, the same thing's happening with these mechanics. They post online, I don't know how to fix it. What do I do? Well, surely some people are like, hey, wait a minute. Mechanics across the country don't know how to fix their lawnmowers and they're taking on customers. I told you about this YouTuber. I don't even understand him. He doesn't know how to work on anything. Anything. He's got a YouTube channel, and the whole point of the YouTube channel is so he can make a video, show you what's wrong with it, and then say, okay, how would you fix it? I don't know. I don't know how to fix it. And then the next video, he'll put it together, and he'll say, okay, thanks, John. John's the one that told me how to do this. This is great. What it is, I'm pretty convinced of this. Now, as you know, I don't charge a lot of money. I charge about a quarter of what the two towns near me charge. And I do that for a couple of reasons. Because I know that the town can't really afford too much. That's why they don't take it to those other places. And it's kept me really busy. And it's a nice supplemental income to what I'm already doing. And, you know, if I weren't doing lawnmower repair, I wouldn't be doing anything. So why not get paid a little at least, instead of paying a whole bunch and not getting anything then either. So that's one of the reasons. Also, I don't have a big shop, and you know, so I understand that people are going to frown on it a little bit, but they may be more responsive to the idea, well, he doesn't charge a lot. And once I get a reputation, maybe I can raise my prices. But regardless. But what I see on Facebook all the time is, oh yeah, you can charge $100 an hour. And then when this guy who didn't know how to put it back together, one guy said, well, I hope you charge for your time. Well, what does that mean? You mean a job that should take 15 minutes? That's because that's what it should take. It shouldn't have taken that long at all. It was 2 bolts. I mean, it's a jigsaw puzzle. That's all it was. You want to charge 2 or 3 hours because this guy doesn't know how to put it together? I mean, how is this the customer's fault? I understand, yeah, and it's nonstop. They constantly are complaining. There was another one again today. I forget what it was. I was going to comment, and I went to get a picture. I know what it was. I sure do know what it was. It was over revving. This machine was over revving. And he adjusted the carburetor, or the governor 100 times. Well, typically, there's only a few things that cause it to all of a sudden over rev. It could be the governor needs adjusted, or the governor inside the engine is broke, or the little butterfly on the carburetor has come off, which can happen quite frequently. Let's see if I have a carburetor here. I'll show you what I'm talking about. There's one. So there's the throttle butterfly right there. If that comes off, well, you're full throttle all the time, and there's no adjustment. It can't slow down. The automatic governor can't slow that down because there's nothing there to block the flow of air and fuel. So it's a simple fix. I'm just at my wit's end. Well, okay, if you think you fixed the governor linkage and you've adjusted it correctly, then move on to the next step. I have a customer that has a lawnmower that's, you know, but I mean, they're always complaining. A guy brings a lawnmower in and the blades are completely shot. I probably have blades that are completely shot. Who in the world would ever run their lawnmower this bad. There's one. You can see it's worn off quite a bit. It's probably broken in a couple areas too. So you're mad that a customer didn't maintain his mower, and now he's going to bring it to you to fix it. I don't understand the complaints. But other than they know they're going to make $1 million working on lawnmowers, and they don't know how to work on them. You know, their thought process is, well, I'll change the carburetor. And that's the thing. You know, you buy a $25 carburetor, you put it on, you charge $25 plus your $100 an hour, so you just made $100 for a 5-minute job. And the thing is they'll get on there and says, this carburetor change didn't work. Now what do I do? Well, you shouldn't have started with the carburetor. You check for fuel flow, make sure you don't get any vacuum, make sure the gas isn't dirty, make sure the fuel pump's working. There's a ton of things that can cause fuel issues, not just the carburetor. It didn't work. I just spent money and I don't know how to fix it. Well, maybe you should not work on customers' equipment. So if you'll click this up next box, it'll take you to a video over my other channel where I can actually help you work on your equipment. So I hope this video inspires you to build a knowledge so you can live your dreams. Thanks for watching.